Hi students, I'm sorry I'm missing you again. I'm just going to go over, I'm going to start this whole thing over, so fast forward if you have the beginning of this started, but I thought just in case there are a few of you that needed to see the whole thing again, we would do that. So you're going to start by threading your needle, and what I do is pinch my thumb and finger together, and then I thread part of it in the eye of the needle, and then I kind of like wiggle it back and forth, and you'll see it come through there. That seems to work pretty well for me, and then you can just pull it through. You do need a little bit of a tail. It doesn't need to be that big of a tail, and then you can just set the needle part aside because we're starting with the other end of the thread or the yarn, just like before. If you have a frayed edge of this cord, just cut it off with the scissors so you have a nice stiff end here. And again, we're just pinching the end of the yarn with the thumb, kind of go over the top of the cord and pinch the other side in place with your finger, and then go back. I try to do that at least 2 times. Sometimes if I'm feeling extra ambitious, I'll do it 3 times, I know. And then you're just gonna very tightly wind the yarn back up. If it slips, that's fine, just try it again, right? And get as close to the edge as you can. We're trying to cover up some of that weight of the cord, and then you're just gonna wrap it, again, tightly, all the way down. We're gonna try to go 1.5 inches or 2 inches. Really a good rule of thumb, or a good check, is like if you bend this over, you want the yarn to cover all this side too. So I know I have to go about twice as far as I've already been. And once you have that wrapped, I'm gonna end with the string in the middle. Okay, so it's down in between the 2 cords, as well, the 1 cord, each half. So as I'm pinching it together, I have that string right in the middle there. Okay, so it's coming out of the middle bottom. And by middle, I mean, this gap in between those 2. And this I'm going to call the outside coil as the shorter coil, and this is going to be my inside coil. So I'm down in the middle. I'm going to wrap it around the outside coil and just bring my needle back through. My needle's not actually like attaching to anything, it's just going through that gap so that I can keep my hand tight around both the coils. You want this yarn to be on the outside coil, so just make sure to adjust it, and then you're pulling it really tight down through the middle. So I'm going through the same place, and then I'm going to come to the inside coil, and again, just going to bring my needle down through the middle from that inside coil. If the yarn gets, scooted to a different place, put it where you want it to be, and then pull it really tight. And already, if I let go, it should kind of stay together, but I repeat that a couple times until I don't have to squeeze it at all. So I'm going back to the outside coil and weaving it through, and then to the inside coil and just pulling the needle through. Again, the needle's not actually sewing anything. And maybe I'll just do it one more time for good measure. Okay, so now if I let go, it's going to stay just fine. Again, I ended up in the same place I started. I'm down in the middle. So now I'm just going to continue wrapping. Okay? And you're going to wrap another length of this until you have enough to go through again. And this time you're going to do the same thing. I'm down in the middle, so now I'm between these 2 coils. So this is going to be my inside coil, and this is going to be my outside coil, and I am completely ignoring this coil over here. Okay? So I'm down in the middle, and I'm just going to go around my outside coil, which is just in between these 2, and back down where I started, and then I'm going to go around the inside coil and down to where I started. Okay, and if you needed to add more string, I don't have any right next to me, but we talked about that in class. You just would take the needle off, you'd add a new tail, wrap it around, and then keep going from where you came. Please let me know if you have questions. Again, I'm encouraging you to get your coaster completed enough that you are comfortable with what you're doing before you start your final project. So once you have figured out your coaster, then you can do some sketching of what you want to do for your final project. If you have any questions, you can email me, or I will see you in class next week. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.